Good evening and welcome to the Everything Comics podcast. My name is Ray, and I know it's been a while. We had a lot of problems with Soundcloud uploading things, but now everything is going to be uploaded to YouTube, so hopefully it'll be a little easier for you guys to check it out. You can add comments, tell us how much we suck, how much you like us, all that good stuff. So that's what the plan is. We're going to try to stick to a regular schedule, but as you all know, life gets in the way sometimes. But we're going to jump right in, and as always, I am joined by Charles. Charles?
Hello, folks. Glad to be back. Looking forward to just jumping in and talking our thing, talking about some comic books and
absolutely.
the comic-related world.
Like I said, we're going to jump right in. First thing I want to talk about, as being that it just came out, and I recently read it, and it's still on my mind.
Okay.
DC Metal #1.
Metal.
Kind of like the start of it.
Okay.
And definitely dark, which I like.
For sure.
We actually went to a midnight signing. We got to hang out with Scott Snyder again. Him and I, our bromance is continuing.
Yes,
which is awesome.
For anyone who like doesn't know, assuming that probably a lot of people,
a lot, mostly everybody.
Yeah, everybody will watch. Yeah, it wasn't like the viewership on SoundCloud was great, let's be honest. But long story short, for whatever reason, Scott remembers this man.
Yes, he does. I mean, my appearance, I think, helps in that way, because I don't look like your typical comic book guy.
Fair.
So I'm glad it helps. I'm glad he remembers me, because actually we are going to try to see if he would accept being interviewed by us.
We're
going to try. Whether or not he accepts is another story, but we are going to try. But like I said, we went to the signing. It's always a good time. Scott always buys everybody pizza.
Yep.
It's always fun. But overall, I like the story. And also, the cool thing about it is he actually showed me stuff on his phone, which was actually pretty cool that he said he wasn't supposed to show, but he did. That's because him and I are like really buddies now. But overall, what'd you think of the book?
I thought it was good. I mean, it's you could kind of see where it's going. There's the whole gladiator aspect to it. I liked. Here's the thing: we should just discuss spoilers, right? I think we're just gonna do what we did on the podcast. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, it's been out for 2 weeks already, so
that's true. So spoiler alert. Okay. Kendra Saunders pops back up in the book.
Mm-hmm.
She's been gone for quite a long time.
She has.
Really, since before the New 52 even started. She's been gone well before that.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely nice to see her back. Whether we get a new Hawker out of it, we gotta see. But her little role was definitely appreciated. Definitely interesting to see the Justice League being taken in this direction for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, the artwork, well, it's Greg, so.
Mm-hmm. That's another thing that I'm glad that them two are back together.
Yeah.
Greg Capullo's art has always been amazing.
Yeah. No question. I will say this, another fantastic guy, if you ever get to meet him at a convention. I mean, I remember I was at a Comic-Con a couple years ago, before it became completely impossible to get tickets. And one thing about him was he made sure, even though they were trying to close off the area that we were at early, what he did was he snuck off into a corner and brought a bunch of us that hadn't gotten our books signed yet, and he made sure that every single one of us got our books signed.
That's cool.
And
That's very cool. Not many people would do that.
No, and I remember I thanked him for it, and he said, no, the pleasure. He said the pleasure was all his. And, it's good to see that.
It is. Because some people can be douchebags.
Yeah, sadly, I've met a few, but
Same here, but not in the comic book world so far. I've been lucky.
Yeah, well, right. I've been to a few more Comic-Cons, so.
Yeah. Now, if you want to talk professional wrestlers, I met plenty of douchebags, but
that's another.
That's another show. So overall, how would you rate Metal #1?
We doing the old 1 to 5 on this?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, a 4.
I'd agree.
You know,
I'd agree with
but
that.
as
And
an intro,
I'm just also excited for the next issue because I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a picture. I believe it's called the Laughing Bat. I think that's what he's called.
something like that.
Something like
yeah.
that. And it's kind of almost like has a Walking Dead thing where it's like a half Batman, half Joker type guy, and he looks like zombie Robins on chains,
Yes.
kind of like Michonne had when she had her pet zombies, which I thought was
yes.
really cool, kind of thing what they did.
Which,
But that actually looks really sick, and I can't wait to read about that character because he looks very interesting.
yeah. Which kind of leads me now to my next thing.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone who's checked out recent solicitations, you might have seen that a certain former Robin is coming back soon.
Yes, he is. I figured I'd leave that for you because I know how much of a Tim fan you are.
Yes. Yes, huge Tim Drake fan. I mean, from the beginning. I basically have pretty much every issue he's been in. It's actually interesting. I don't know if I mentioned it. I found while I was going through some stuff the other day, I had the missing issue of Robin I needed to complete the collection.
How long have you been looking for that now?
Oh, quite a while, yeah. All 183 issues, plus the 26 issues of Red Robin, plus, you know, his appearances in Batman the Detective. Not quite complete on Teen Titans yet, but working on it. Yes, I'm a huge Tim Drake fan, so seeing him come back, you know, I'm very happy for that. The only thing I'm worried about is, are they going to bring him back just to make him part of the background in Detective again?
Mm-hmm.
You know, keep in mind, this was a character who, up until Damien got introduced,
Mm-hmm.
you know, this was a character who, as you know, as the Robin that succeeded Jason Todd, carried 183 issues of a solo book, plus the 26 issue of Red Robin, so technically 209 issues without a problem. But ever since the New 52 came out, they've shuffled him to the sidelines. And then, I'm sorry, did you read Teen Titans number 0 for New 52?
No, I actually didn't read any Teen Titans from the New 52.
Okay. This is what I would say, and I'm going to try to be fair here, because, you know, you never know who you run to, who you meet. Scott Lobdell. I enjoyed his work with X-Men. I really enjoyed his work with Red Hood. But Tim Drake, no. He and Tim do not mesh well at all. That issue 0 was not good. Basically, the one thing was with the New 52, they tried to change everybody's origins and everything. And what they did was they took away so much of what made the character special in an effort to just make him like the perfect at everything type character. Like, you know, almost like, I don't know if you remember how people were saying Ray was like a Mary Sue type because, you know, she was like perfect at everything somehow.
Yeah.
They kind of made it so Tim was like that. And
that just doesn't fit him at all.
Right. I mean, the thing is, Tim plans ahead at everything. He's very smart. He was never the perfect athlete to begin with. They established that he had a background in it, but that he had to really learn the ropes. Whereas the New 52 origin made him perfect at everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, although the other thing they took away from him was the whole thing was he figured out Bruce's secret.
Mm-hmm.
But in the New 52 origin, Bruce just basically leads him astray every time, and then finally reveals it on his, you know, to Tim. And I feel like, again, like you took something away from Tim. Yeah, so I didn't like it. So anyway, so Tim's coming back. While it's going to be James Tynion writing them, and James, we know, is a Tim fan. But I'm sorry, I want to see Tim on his own. I want to see Tim in his own book again. It's been too long, and my worry is that they've shelved him for so. I'm not even talking about just shelving him like in the recent, you know, he's been apparently dead thing they've had going on Detective. I'm talking since the start of the New 52. Yeah. He's really been sidelined.
Yeah, because he really hasn't been prominent in anything.
No, and even like you put him in any of the group bat things they have going on, and
he always does seem like he gets lost in the shuffle.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah.
And I really don't see him as a background character anyway.
No.
I don't.
No, he should be on his own. He should be starring in his own book. And we should remember what made Tim the character that we loved for all these years prior to the start of New 52.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So, we'll see where it goes with this. I believe it's called A Lonely Place of Living, which is what's coming up, I believe it was called.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see where this goes. But yeah, if it doesn't lead to a Tim Solo book, I'm going to be disappointed.
I think a lot of people love the character.
Yeah. Just especially, I mean, it's, just like I said, it just feels like since Damien Boo has come on the scene.
Yeah, he's not one of my favorites either.
Right, no. I mean, I love what they did with him in Tomasi's Batman and Robin, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I also contribute that to the person writing the book, because Tomasi is an amazing writer.
Tomasi is, I mean, but, yeah, that's what I feel about Tim. So, what else you got in your mind tonight?
Well, Wonder Woman, the movie.
Ah, yes. This is how we know that we haven't done this in a little bit. So
yeah. The highest grossing comic book movie of the summer actually beat Guardians of the Galaxy #2.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you've seen that yet, did you? Guardians 2 or no?
Shamefully, no.
Okay, that's it, right. You can I have the Blu-ray, you can watch it.
Okay, yeah.
That's homework.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's not what it's a pleasure.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I don't know. Yeah, no, because we haven't did anything. I'm not going to spoil anything, but me personally, didn't think it was as good as the first one. Okay. Wasn't expecting it to be.
Right.
Because they really caught lightning in a bottle with that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Especially being everybody in that was more of... That wasn't really a very popular book, and that movie kind of just set that off on a path, though.
Yeah.
No matter what sequel they did, it wasn't going to be as good as the first one. Still a good movie. I love the way they did Ego and everything like that. But for me, far beyond, out of everything that's come out this year, between Logan, which I thought you've seen Logan, right?
Still haven't seen Logan. There was there was a couple months stretch that I did miss a couple movies. Okay.
All right. Logan was probably my second favorite, but
you can discuss it freely though, because I mean I pretty much know what happened.
Yeah, I mean hands down, Wonder Woman I thought was better than both of them. A lot of people will disagree; they think Logan was better.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, Logan was a fantastic movie the way it was done, and seeing Wolverine finally in a rated R movie,
yeah, that was good.
Was actually really cool. So, but by far Wonder Woman was the best.
Oh yeah, we have a special guest star over here on the sideline. So
yeah. 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 What can you do? So, 804 million, I think.
Worldwide, yeah.
Worldwide?
Well over 400 million domestically.
And also, I think the highest grossing film from a female director, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. Good for them. I mean, as a longtime Wonder Woman fan myself, I'm thinking she was one of the first characters I was collecting when I basically got into the whole comic thing. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, that movie was just everything I could have hoped for.
And one thing that I liked is they actually brought up both origins for her.
Yeah. Like
of what her mother told her, how she was made out of clay.
Yep.
And then it comes out then she was, the daughter of Zeus, which was actually cool.
Right.
Because they played on them both. Because I remember, him and I talking in the theater, once they heard that, I was like, oh, please don't let them go and they're going with this clay origin.
Right. I mean, I know it's the classic. I have a lot of respect for the classic, but to me, here's the thing. If I'm introducing a new person to Wonder Woman,
it's easier to explain that she's a demigod than that she was made out of clay.
Yes, and then having to explain all the gods that breathe their special powers in and all that. You know what?
Daughter of Zeus and Hippolyta. There you go. Boom, done.
Exactly. Nice, easy thing for people to understand.
Yeah. I don't know, like, if anybody hasn't seen it yet, but actually comes out on Blu-ray next month, September 19th. But, I know we were talking... Yes. I know also, too, that one scene when she's walking through the battlefield, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That just...
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there, and I actually got goosebumps, because it pumped me up so much, just seeing that, and seeing, is she... Depending on the writer of her book, sometimes her books were, a little...
They can be consistent.
Yeah, But also too, I think when Azzarello started doing it,
Yeah.
for me, that's when things really kind of set it off in another direction.
Right. No, Azzarello's
You know?
run was mostly a highlight.
Yeah.
Making the Amazons a bunch of rapists, I don't know how much I love that. But,
Yeah, we could forget about that part.
right, but
You
almost
know?
everything else I loved.
Yeah. You know, certain people I think are meant to write certain characters. That's
Yeah.
why I know I'm going to mention his name again, but I would love to
Scott
see
Snyder.
Scott Snyder write Wonder Woman.
Yep.
I would love it.
DC, if you haven't thought of that already, we'll plant a seed.
You know, because I know he said he's not doing Batman. He's not writing Batman after he finishes with All Star.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know what he's planning. I think he's going to do the second arc of Witches.
Right.
But I just don't see him not on a DC book.
Yeah, DC can't sideline him.
No, they really can't afford to.
Right. That's like, like you think that's like a sports team sidelining their best player.
Yeah, no, true. That is true. You know, I would like to see see his take on that character.
Like you imagine the Cavaliers going to the finals and telling LeBron James, "Yeah, you're gonna sit down."
Yeah, just hang out over there and you can just work on that for now.
Yeah,
you know,
not happening.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. You know, but Wonder Woman, yes, definitely A+, straight all across the board.
Yep. Absolutely.
Next, Marvel Legacy.
Actually, before we go to Marvel, let's stay in the movie for a bit.
Oh, okay.
We had another movie, Marvel-ish movie, come out. Give you a hint. Web Slinger?
Oh, yeah. Wow. I forgot about Homecoming. Yes. I thought it was good.
There's a but.
I really don't know how to put this with certain things. I love Marissa Tomei, but I kind of find myself feeling weird being attracted to Aunt May because Marissa Tomei is gorgeous. So that was a little, But the only cool thing about that though was here with Tony, always saying how hot Aunt May was, which was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But that I had a hard time with.
Okay.
Because normally, Aunt May, older, I should say.
Right.
Not like a hot Aunt May.
Yeah.
Right. But overall, I thought it was very good. Some people had problems with it. I know you had a couple issues with it.
I mean, there were minor issues.
Nothing major, but I know some people didn't like it at all.
Right.
Some people thought the comedy was too over the top. They didn't like the comedy.
Well, it should be over the top. That is.
It is.
Kind of is Spider-Man.
Exactly. That's what my whole take was.
Yeah.
Especially one of the scenes when his little chubby friend, I forgot the kid's name, when he's sitting there. Yeah. When he was in the school lab and he's like, "What are you doing here?" He's like looking at porn. Yeah. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, Ned, otherwise known as Gonky in the Ultimate Spider-Man books.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't think it was that over the top, but that was one of the things that I found. I'm not gonna say bad.
Right.
But like I said, I just don't think I should find myself attracted to Aunt May. That's all. That's So if you want to, even if you want to consider that a bad thing, but that was one of the things that I had a little problem with.
Yeah, the whole thing is Aunt May's supposed to have this hard time connecting to him always because she's so much older than he is, and it's even in the Ultimate books when they slightly de-aged her.
Mm-hmm.
She was they made
she was still older. She wasn't as young as she is now.
Right. Honestly, I do miss Mary Jane not being in there. I know they hint that the Zendaya character could take on an MJ-ish role.
Mm-hmm. Well, she did say her initials were MJ.
Right, that's why I said.
But her name wasn't Mary Jane.
Right. Yeah.
Because the whole uproar because she wasn't white.
Right.
With that whole stupid thing, but
Although I do want to add one thing. Is it that hard to find natural redhead people? It feels like, I swear, think about all the projects in which it seems like it is the redhead that gets replaced.
Yeah, right. It does seem like that, doesn't it? I don't understand that. I don't get that at all.
Right. But we digress.
Yeah. What do you think of Michael Keaton as a villain?
I thought he was easily one of the highlights of the movie.
He was fantastic. He was really good.
I mean, you know what? He was awesome as Bruce Wayne back in the day, and he's awesome now as a villain.
Yeah.
And he's a villain, but he's also a relatable guy.
Very. The way they did, exactly. That's another thing I was going to bring up too, because they didn't make him like he was like Joe Everyman.
Right.
Struggling to feed his family, make ends meet, and then gets pulled in by the dark side to make some quick money.
Right. So.
And not like the Force dark side with Darth Vader, like the evil.
Right.
Side.
Like somebody who will become Darth Vader.
Yes, Anakin. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, there's Darth.
Yeah. Vader, and before he became Vader.
Yeah.
Too. So. Yeah. So overall, how would you rate Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Because let's see. I guess if we're going back to the scale of 0 to 5, I'd give it a 3 to a 3.5. There was solid parts about it. I thought Tony Stark was in it a bit too much. Like, it kind of felt less like a Spider-Man movie at times and like a Spider-Man featuring Iron Man, or even at points an Iron Man featuring Spider-Man movie. Having the suit be so much like Iron Man's felt like a bit much.
Yeah.
So I didn't love that. Definitely the kid was a good choice.
Tom Holland, yeah. Tom Holland was good. I definitely see why they picked him.
Yeah.
I thought he was fantastic.
Right. Because the one thing about the previous Spider-Man, I felt like, previous Peter Parker's / Spider-Man, each one captured an aspect of Peter, but I never felt either of them got the whole shebang.
Tom definitely did.
Yeah.
That he did.
Even though I will say, I still, to this day, the first two Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, even though Spidey's not within the quipping jokes, I love those two movies.
Yeah. First two were really good.
Third one?
Not so much, because I think they totally screwed Venom up.
Yeah, it is you could tell that Raimi didn't really want Venom in there. And that it was a corporate thing.
Yeah, now it's one of those things to see how this Venom movie is going to go with Tom Hardy.
Yes.
To see how that's going to turn out. It's a funny thing.
Bane is Venom.
Yeah, Bane. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's kind of hard to... But then again, Chris Evans was multiple...
The Human Torch.
Multiple comic book. I mean, he was in Fantastic Four.
The Human Torch is Captain America.
He was also in Losers, which is another comic book movie. He was in that. And then now he's Captain America, and now you really can't see him as any other character but Captain America.
Right. Although I'm not going to lie, it took me about a good 20 minutes of watching the first Captain America before I could get the Human Torch out of my head.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, I mean, no, Evans did a great job with that, and so was it okay? So now I cut you off as you were about to lead back into something. I think you were leading into Marvel Legacy.
Yeah. Another renumbering of books.
Yep, but this time going the other way.
Yeah, going backwards.
Instead of going back to new number ones, anyone that's heard our audio podcast, the 5 or 6 of you, has probably heard that, my complaints about the constant renumbering of books.
Yeah, not a fan.
No.
Not a fan at all.
It looks like...
I just think it's a cash grab.
Yeah.
Because we all know how people love to gobble number ones because they think it's going to make them millions. Yeah, and be a retirement plan for them.
But it looks like Marvel's finally starting to catch some hints. The other thing it seems like they're trying to do too is they're trying to clean up the little well, I say clean up, I don't mean clean up, but they're trying to turn the tables on their quote unquote diversity problem.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, like I think a lot of people are just wary up in arms. They're replacing this hero with that one. They're replacing this one with a with a non-white male character. They're replacing that white male character with a non-white male character.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think some people were feeling threatened by it, and some people just missed their favorite characters.
Yeah. Well, a lot's been going on with Marvel. Like I said, we haven't done this in a while, but the whole thing with was it the writer or the artist putting the symbol or putting some type of
X-Men.
X-Men Gold, right?
Gold #1.
Yeah.
Put the Islamic verses in there.
Yeah, he put that was a whole big to do.
Yeah.
You know, so Marvel's been in the news a lot lately,
and not necessarily for all the right
exactly,
reasons.
and not necessarily for all the right reasons. You know, but I believe if you want to do your political thing, that's fine. But I believe everybody should have a platform of their own, but not use certain mediums to do that.
Right. I mean,
he did it, so be it. But
right, and I mean, it just felt like, especially because he did it to. He had Kitty Pryde walking around there. Kitty Pryde's a Jewish character.
Mm-hmm.
But, not being an expert on religions here, but I'm pretty sure a Jewish character is going to walk around in knowingly wearing, Muslim verses and symbols, any more than a Muslim character is going to walk around wearing Jewish symbols.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, but I haven't really been keeping up with a lot of Marvel stuff, like books anyway. I mean, I try to, for this purpose, I try to keep up with on as much of the news as I can.
Right.
But the only Marvel book I'm reading right now is Deadpool vs. the Punisher, and I think that's only into the 4th issue. It's the only one that I'm reading. I haven't picked up a Marvel book since Deadpool and the Punisher.
See, me, I keep my fingers in the X books, kind of, keep reading those for the most part. Well, maybe not all of them, but, I try to at least absorb what I can of those. I still have Astonishing X-Men #1 and 2 sitting in the car, and I have to get to those.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you what I have been reading. The solo books, Jean Grey and Iceman, that they put out. I'm kind of concerned that they're probably not going to last that much longer. I've been seeing the sales numbers. They're not great.
No.
Like, I know the Iceman numbers in particular have been brutal.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that's not just people ignoring him because he came out of the closet.
I hate to say it, but that might have something to do with it. Because,
I think
because a lot of people are very, I hate to say it, and not to get into like a whole thing here, but a lot of people are closed-minded.
Exactly.
And, and we'll leave it at that.
Right. I mean, I'll say one more thing and I'll leave it. People said, oh, he's been portrayed as straight his whole life and he just came out, he's just coming out now. That's what happens in the real world, people. Not everybody declares out at 14.
True.
Some people keep it hidden for years. That's just real life, and that's the route that this particular character. Truth be told, even if you read the books in the past, he's had relationships. They've never been great ones.
Mm-hmm.
And, you could even say some of the warning signs were there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. Just read it, If the book grabs
take it for what it is, if you like it, support it. If you don't like it, just don't read it. That's
right.
That's the way it should be.
Right. I mean, see, my biggest issue with the book so far is I feel like the art, because it looks like they've already been using multiple artists, and that can be a turn off.
Which was, as past shows, was one of my issues with the Black Canary book.
Yep.
Great book, love the story. Hard to get past the art because I thought the art was bad.
We could even bring up a certain Real American Hero book that I love.
Oof. And you know what? The Black Canary was bad. I think the G.I. Joe book is worse.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily talking about the book called G.I. Joe: Real American Hero. I'm talking about their quote unquote the book that they label the crown jewel of the Hasbro IDW universe. Book that's just called G.I. Joe. The sad part is the way that book has been so putrid, and it's the artwork is just the starters.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and I love G.I. Joe.
The artwork is bad.
I love G.I. Joe. I've been collecting the comics since the '80s. The toys, the cartoon. God help me, I sat through so many of those cartoons. God help me, I saw the movie where they turned Cobra Commander into a snake. So
what was that about?
It's honestly this is best discussed off camera, but the short of it is that there's this organization that turns out Cobra, the organization, was a front for this like weird insectoid organization called Cobra Law, whose leader Globulus basically has a snake's tail, and that's how he gets around. He has a human upper body and a snake lower body.
We will leave it at that.
Yeah, and he turns Cobra Commander into a snake for disobeying him.
Lovely. Wow. Okay.
But yeah, and it's not quick either. You basically get to watch a chunk of the movie where Roadblock and Cobra Commander are trying to escape, and of course they have to make it a comedy show because Roadblock they blind Roadblock, and now he's carrying this crippled Cobra Commander who's been hit with these spores. And it turns out the crippling is just basically masking his body mutating into a snake. Folks, if you haven't seen it, it was bad.
No bueno.
But to go back to the comic, the current IDW comic almost makes me want to go back and watch that movie.
Especially now that you have a Transformer on the Joe team.
You know what? The sad part is, Skywarp is... this is how bad it's gotten. Skywarp is probably one of the least objectionable things about the book.
And that says a lot. Yeah, that says a lot.
Yeah. Mind you, I'm still not even sure why Skywarp is on the Joes, but...
They never explained it?
No.
It was just like, here, you're here now.
Revolution basically had a thing where... he's sitting there, one of the Joes, I think it's Rock and Roll, runs into him, and he's got his arms like, I'm going to be a great asset, trust me. And then next issue is G.I. Joe #1, there he is with the team.
See, that I don't like that.
No.
You have to give me some type of backstory of why he became a Joe.
Right.
Not just throw him here and say, all right, you're here now, and we're never going to explain why.
Oh, and the other thing is, just when they couldn't get ridiculous enough with their stuff, they had to whip out the old Baroness has been our secret prisoner for a long time arc. Because, let's see, we did that in Real American Hero. Actually, that's been done twice in Real American Hero now, where Baroness has spent extended time as a prisoner. Devil's Due did it, where basically Baroness had been presumed dead, but nope, she turned out to be a prisoner of the Joes, and they actually kept her in that status for 18 issues.
Oh wow!
Give or take. And then she finally broke out. But yeah, guess what? IDW World, when we ran out of years, Baroness is a prisoner again, a secret prisoner.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't. That would make me angry.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Until they went to this Baroness is a prisoner thing, I will say she's probably the only character that they've done a really good job with. Like, honestly...
I know the Cobra Files book, they did a fantastic job with that run.
Yes.
And it kind of makes you wonder how they went in a complete different direction, and now it's pretty much turned to shit, part of my French.
Honestly, I almost think, at this point, get her out of prison, get her a good artist, and you know what? Forget the rest of the Joes. Give the Baroness her solo book.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think if you ignore the prisoner thing and you just go with the rest of the work they've done with her, she could have a chance. Let me put it this way: the Joe book is selling like 5,000 copies a month. I don't think the Baroness could do worse than that.
No, she's a very interesting character.
Yep,
she really is.
Yeah, over the years, I mean, Yeah, IDW's done things like they made her the power behind the throne at times. This the assassin that Cobra Commander, which multiple ones Cobra Commanders have turned to. When they need the job done and they need it done with the style, they turn to her.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's just been. And the thing is that she uses everything in her arsenal. Hey, does she use her looks? Yeah, she uses her looks sometimes if that's what it takes. But hey, IDW, maybe that's what you should be doing. Get a Baroness book.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I would give that a shot.
Right.
I would give that a shot. Absolutely.
Right. Okay, so I think I kind of did this. We diverged from Marvel Legacy to go into that. So
yeah,
Marvel Legacy. Basically, what we're doing now with Marvel Legacy, or what they're doing now, I should say, they're renumbering the books, but like with high numbers instead of going back to number ones. All the books are going to have legacy numbering. And I will say, some of the books, it's really a stretch to see how they get the numberings. Like they did like charts on some of them, like how Black Panther got to 166. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Or let's see. Maybe I should have had something in front of me for this, but like, Iron Fist, I think is coming out with a high numbered book. Like a lot of these books, like in the 300s, and it's like, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, I don't know how they came up with the logic for how they got some of these numbers.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Uncanny X-Men still conspicuous by its absence.
Yeah. I don't get it.
It looks like it's the X books are kind of staying where they are in their direction and
it seems like they're in a separate
thing together.
Yeah.
Right. And all the rest of the Marvel books are resuming their numbering. Like, you're having, then again, there's always the Fantastic Four who are still gone.
And I think they're going to be gone for a while. I don't really see them doing anything with them.
Well, you have to...
Unless Marvel gets the rights back. Then I think if Marvel gets the rights back for the movies, then I think they will push the Fantastic Four again.
Well, you know what it is? It's not even so much it's the Richards family that's gone.
Yeah.
Because the Thing and Human Torch are still running around in various books. Whatever book they feel like putting them in. And I think Thing was in Guardians of the Galaxy. What was he? Is it Champions? I don't know. But, it's like wherever they can find room for him now.
That's what I mean. There's no teams that are the same. Everybody's so jumbled, and this one's over here, and that one's over here.
Guys are multiple people on multiple teams sometimes.
You got certain characters showing up in like 3-4 different books.
Well, I mean, let's see. It's kind of funny. How many books is Old Man Logan in right now? Let's do the math. Old Man Logan. X-Men Gold. Now Astonishing X-Men. Weapon X. And I feel like I'm missing a book.
I think you might be.
But even if I'm
four is a lot.
Yeah. So he's definitely replaced the classic Wolverine for sure.
He has.
While you have Laura Kinney, aka an all new Wolverine, doing her thing. Hey, I give them credit for keeping her around, keeping her in the role, keeping her doing her thing.
I think the movie helped on that too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because that little kid was a badass.
Right. And I guess in theory, Old Man Logan fits the role of classic Wolverine, even though he kind of really isn't. But I guess he fits the role well enough.
Yeah.
But as for the rest of the Marvel books, I mean, we'll have to see what they do with Steve Rogers after this whole Secret Empire thing. Spoiler alert! I don't know if you've read the recent Secret Empire books.
No.
Long story short, there's been a second Steve Rogers running around, but basically, apparently he was totally created by Kobik, and it's Steve Rogers as Kobik remembers him from before she messed up the regular Steve Rogers world by changing his origin and all that.
That's a lot to process.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that somewhere along the way, that Steve Rogers is going to merge back into the classic one. Because we're hearing that they're going to redeem classic Captain America somehow. Going to be hard, but
with everything that they have done to that character.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. So now Falcon now is going to get his own. He's going to be in the Falcon book.
Mm-hmm.
See again, I worry about how honestly, I had no problem with him as Cap.
No. It's like I really didn't have a problem with the Winter Soldier as Cap either. I didn't have
Right.
a problem with Bucky as Cap.
Right, but Bucky did a good job. I mean, Falcon was more controversial. Let's be honest.
And we all know why it was controversial,
Right.
Which we don't really have to get into.
Right, but
I mean, you guys know what we're talking about.
Right. I just thought it was a good book. They dealt with some issues very honestly.
That they did.
Maybe a little too honestly for some people.
Yeah.
But I like Falcon as Captain America, okay, so now he's going to go back to his own book. See, what I worry about is now that he's not going to be Captain America anymore, people are going to ignore that book and it's going to be canceled after a few issues, and they'll just shuffle back into the background.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe they'll just end up throwing him on another team.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Or 3.
Yeah, a team of 3. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So, what else you got?
It shifts back to DC for I don't know how much you've caught up on some of the other.
Yeah, I'm a little
the other stuff.
Right, I'm a little behind on some of my books.
Mm-hmm.
I still keep up very much with Wonder Woman. We've got the war of jokes and riddles going on in Batman.
Which finally, I mean, I hate to say it, Tom King's a great writer, but finally a story that I can sink my teeth into.
You know what it is? I feel like it's taken him a little bit to find his groove.
Yeah, he needed to get his legs under him.
Right.
It took longer than I expected because Tom King is a good writer.
Right. I feel like the I Am Bane story is where he finally actually started to get it.
Yeah, because we all know what that monster is still.
Well, that wasn't all him, though.
No, it wasn't all him, but that was
That
just
Night of the Monster
awful.
Man.
Night of the Monster, it was awful.
Yeah.
Awful.
I mean, I don't know if I rate it as One More Day awful, but...
It was close. I didn't even read One More Day, just get the synopsis of it, but it was close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you
but
know
definitely, I Am Bane and the jokes and riddles, he stepped it up.
Yes. The one thing I will say I will be disappointed in War Jokes and Riddles, I don't want the Joker to win again.
Mm-hmm.
I am I feel like it's getting very old. We know that Joker's the most popular Batman villain. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need him to always be head and shoulders superior to every other Batman villain ever.
Mm-hmm. True.
I would like a Riddler win out of this.
It would definitely be different.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it would be nice to see him go that way.
Yeah.
Have him have little balls and go that way. It would be nice, but honestly, I don't think it's going to happen.
Well,
it would be nice.
Right. The obvious answer seems to be that Batman will eventually triumph over them both. But
which always is the way.
Right.
But it would be nice to see somebody come out. As much as I love the Joker.
Right.
It would be nice to see somebody different, kind of.
Right. Because we know, since it's set in the past, we know they're both going to survive it. So.
Yeah. Which they could also use as another turning point to have Joker go more crazy than what he is. That he actually lost to somebody and drive him even more mad.
True.
That would be kind of cool.
True. So, if we're going to discuss Batman, we should also bring up a certain little proposal.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and Selena.
Yep.
Yeah, that was...
one of the highlights of Tom King's book, in my opinion, has been how he's built up
that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. Like I said, he's done some things that were very ballsy.
Yep.
I give him that.
Yeah.
I definitely give him that. He definitely didn't go the popular route on some things.
Right.
He's definitely done some ballsy moves, and that was one of them. But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he did that.
I think like I said, I think it took him a little while to find his feet. He seems to have found it, and the book seems to be really catching its groove now, and I'm enjoying it.
Oh, same here.
Wonder Woman. I'm still. Let's see. I have issues 27, 28 in the car. I just finished with 26, so I'll catch up to that when I can. I mean, Greg Rucka just finished it up. I mean, that 25 was such an awesome book.
It was. It was really good.
They did that. The thing is, they did the Wonder Woman Street Trevor thing. It just feels so well done now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it doesn't feel like it's a caricature anymore.
Yeah. Because I remember when it first started, I was having an issue with the back and forth.
Right.
You know, for the year one, then
Right.
then present, then
Right.
back to year one, then
Right.
present. Now I just figured I just read it twice.
Right.
You know, you read the issue prior to the other issue coming out to kind of,
Right.
because you know that was my problem because I
Right.
would read it, then I would read the next one, then it would when the following one would
Right.
come out again, which would be the continuation from either the year one
Right.
or for present, it would kind of throw me off a little bit.
Right. But yeah, see, I had said from the beginning, the way to treat it is to ignore the number on the book and treat it like 2 monthly Wonder Woman books.
Mm-hmm.
Just one set in the past and one set in present day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you treat it like that, you understood the odd numbers were present day and the even numbers were past stories. If you treat it like that, I felt like it was easier to kind of follow the stories in that way. Because, you know, let's face it, you know, we're still collecting monthly books, even though DC has done so many bi-weeklies.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Cyborg was bumped, apparently, right?
Yeah, well,
He was from bi-weekly to monthly, or was there another? Or was there something else too?
Well, Aquaman too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cyborg sales. I mean, I don't know how they're going to keep that book floating much longer. Those sales have been brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. I've always had a problem with him being a main character anyway, because I just don't see him as a main character.
And,
you know, like I see Aquaman more as a main character than Cyborg.
Yeah. You know.
Even though I'm really not a fan of Aquaman, but still.
You know what it is? We haven't been used to Cyborg as being a main character. He's always been presented in the context of a team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard. It's like, you know, one of the days I feel like maybe when it's a sale or something, I'm going to try to pick up the book and see if, you know, there's a hook to it or something. It just feels like, I don't know. I feel like the tech aspect has been done before, maybe not in his way. So I'm looking for the hook that draws me in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm surprised the Aquaman book didn't, because you liked it.
I have.
You know, I'm surprised it's not catching on, or...
You know, this Aquaman in long term is a hard sell. Because people, you know, after a while, you tend to go back to what you always think of him.
Yeah, because he's just not a very popular character at all.
Right. You know,
he's always the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
You know, as in like the Big Bang Theory,
Yeah,
everybody's
cool,
Justice League, and they always hate Aquaman.
Yeah. Aquaman sucks.
Exactly. You know, which, I mean, the concept is kind of cool, I guess, but Aquaman just never.
Everybody goes back to him talking to fish.
Yeah, I mean,
and that outfit.
Yeah.
You know, it seems like the route they're taking in the upcoming movie is one, they're having him go away from the outfit. I don't know if he's going to talk to fish or not, but he's definitely, at the very least, they're having him go away from the outfit.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm looking at the time. I think we should probably, what do you think? Maybe start wrapping this up?
Yeah. Like I said, thank you again for
before,
sticking with us.
Real quick, before you can say goodbye, just want to say thank you all so much for listening or watching, and hope to see you next time.
All right, Charles, take it easy.
Yep.
Again, thank you everybody for checking it out. We'll be on YouTube. We're going to get active on Twitter again. Maybe try to do some more contests. Like I said, we're going to try to interview some people and hopefully have some fun. Like I said, questions. If you want to ask us questions, leave your comments below after we post a video. So again, thank you all. It's Friday night. Go have a drink, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.